Okay, welcome back. In this video what we're going to do is we're going to fix some proportion issues with the model itself, and then we're going to get to work on creating these eyepieces that go back here. So let's fix the proportional issues I'm talking about. If I move over, you'll notice that the distance in the picture of this area here to this area here is much shorter than what we have on our 3D model. In other words, my proportions are off. So let's fix that. Let's double click that image clip viewer to hide it for now. Double click this blue name bar up here to do that. Let's select the entire main body here of the night vision goggles. You don't want to select the cylinder, we don't want to scale that, just this part. Activate the scaling tool and scale in the blue axis, and you notice that something interesting happens. This is a problem because this is not what we want to do. So hit Ctrl Z to go back. When you run into this problem, it's because our transformations are off. We've rotated this thing several times, we've done several things to it, so we're going to have some problems with it. So what we want to do to fix that is go over here to where it says transform, left click on that, and it opens up the transform menu. From here you want to go to freeze all transforms and click on that. It appears that nothing's happened. What XSI has done is it's frozen all the transforms into place of this object. So all the crazy scaling values and rotations we had are now gone. What it means is that now we can activate the scale tool and we can actually scale this thing together as one, the way that we're supposed to be able to. So let's open up our image here. See how much exactly it is that we have to scale this thing. So let's look at the difference between this space and that space there. And we can see that about right here is pretty good. That's pretty close. At least I think it's pretty close. If anything, we can fix the scaling later if we find that it's not exactly what we want. But for the moment, that's probably going to do. Maybe scale it down a little bit more. Okay, for now, that's probably going to do pretty good. So I'm going to leave it as is for the moment. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, we fixed the proportional issues, at least for now. And we can start to create those eyepieces that go back here, because obviously we don't have anything back there yet. So we can see the eyepieces could probably be created very easily based off of primitive cylinders. So what we're going to do is create those eyepieces using cylinders. So let's go over here to primitive, go to polygon mesh, bring up a cylinder, take the base subdivisions down to 1 and the V down to 1. The subdivisions in the U at 8. Let me go ahead and look at my picture again. I think that's going to work out just fine, but you know what? It might not. So let me go over here and let me change it to 12. Okay, now let me close that PPG. Let's move this cylinder out over here, and we have to rotate it in the Z axis. So let's go over here to Z and type in 90, and that'll flip it over on its side the correct way. And obviously we need to move it over here. So let's get into position. It's probably going to be around here. Okay. So let's look at our image here to determine what the radius of this thing is going to be. So let's increase the radius by scaling only in the X and the Z axis. Something like this is going to be, try and look at it from the angle of the picture. It's probably going to end up being something like this. Okay, so we'll say it's something like that. Let's move it into the night vision goggle itself. Actually, before I do that, I know for a fact I'm not going to need these polygons back here, so I'm going to select them and delete them. And I'll move this back so it goes into the night vision goggles like that. Okay, not bad. I'm going to scale it down just a little bit in the X and the Z axis. Make it a little bit thinner. Okay. Now, it's hard to see. We really can't see it too well. But there must be a cylinder that connects from this part here to this part here that has another cog wheel type shape to it right there. So that's a separate piece. So what I'm going to do to achieve that is I'm going to grab these polygons here, move them back to about here. I'm trying to get the distance right. It's going to be a pretty short distance, something like this maybe. Something like that. And then what I'm going to do is hit Control D to extrude. I'm going to scale that up like this. I'm going to hit Control D to extrude again. I'm going to pull this out like this. And try to get the distance from here to there. So it's a little bit long now, so I'll make it shorter like that. It's going to be much... it's going to be more faithful to the picture. If I do it about right there, it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to leave it right there. That's fine. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is with those polygons selected, I'm going to hit Control D to extrude. And I'm going to take these, scale them out just a little bit. I closed my image clip viewer. Let me open that back up again. There we go. And I'm going to scale these out. You can see they need to be scaled out. I'm making pretty much this part that's right there. So I'm scaling this out just a bit. Like this. Then I'm going to hit Control D to extrude again. Pull it out like this to make this little part right there. And then the rest of it's actually going to be a little bit tricky to do. So, what I'm going to do is hit Control D to extrude. Scale it out a little bit like this. And pull it out like this a little bit. Okay. Now what I have to do is create this part that goes right here. As you can see, it's not very uniform. So, to do that part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude again. Hit Control D to extrude again. I'm going to pull out this way like so. And I'm going to bring this part down and in like this a little bit. Pull it back more like this. Okay, so it goes down like that. And then from there, I'm going to hit Control D to extrude again. Pull it out and scale it out like this. Just a little bit. And now this side is going to stick out kind of like this wing shaped out here, but then this side is not. So to be able to achieve that effect, it's actually going to be pretty simple. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to first make the actual hole for the lens there. I'm going to hit Control D to extrude. I'm going to extrude that down to about this much here. Then I'm going to hit Control D to extrude again, scale this part down, and then move it inside like this. And maybe scale it down a bit more. And then I'll probably hit Control D again to extrude just a little bit. Then Control D to extrude again and pull it inward like so. And I have to make that a lens. Then pull it back more like this. And to make that a lens is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to use the same trick as before. I'm going to right click, go down to extract polygons and delete. Now if this new object, I'm going to go ahead to go to polygon mode, select its polygons, hit Control D to extrude, scale this down, pull it this way, or I don't really have to pull it anywhere. Maybe I'll pull it inside just a bit like that. Now with that part done, I'm going to select this over here. I'm going to go to sub D mode now by hitting plus on the number pad of my keyboard a few times. And we can see how it's starting to come out, which is pretty good. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now I want this part in here, this eyepiece, to be a little bit sharper. So let me go back down the sub D levels using the minus key on the number pad of the keyboard. Hit I on the keyboard to go to raycasting edge mode. Select this edge, Alt and middle mouse button, click this edge here. That'll select the entire ring of edges all the way around. Let's just right click and let's go to split edges with split control and move this split real close, right about there. And now if we hit the plus key to smooth this out, you'll see we have a nice cut right there, which looks great. Let me select that lens piece, hit the plus icon to smooth it out. Not bad. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is, let me go back down to the lowest subdivision level. And I'm going to start to select some of these polygons. Like this polygon, hold down shift, this polygon, this polygon. Let me see what else. Let me move that back like this. Sub D it. That looks pretty good. Okay, those are the ones I want to get. So I want to grab those polygons that I just selected there and just pull them back. That's all you have to do. Just pull them back. It's really that simple. And once you pull them back, we'll look at the image here to determine how far we have to pull back. And that looks like it's far enough. Next thing is to just move it to the side like this. Something like that is pretty good right there. May have to pull it back a little bit more like this. So that looks pretty good. I actually like that a lot better. To me, that looks nicer. But you can see this needs more of a sharp, pointed area right there, which we're lacking right now. So to address that, let me see which one I'm going to use here. I can go to edge mode and select this edge right here, that little edge that's right in there. And let's try pulling that one out a little bit like that. And yeah, that gives it that nice sharpened, more of that flourish look that we have in the image. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. That looks pretty good actually, pretty faithful to the picture. And this part didn't come out too bad either, especially considering the fact that we have no reference for that part. So now it's time to detail this thing. So let's look at our image here. You can see we need some sharp edges right there. So let's go ahead and create those sharp edges. Let's go down to sub D levels here. Select this edge, Alt and middle mouse button, click this edge, right click, and let's go to split edges with split control. Move this back like this. It's going to be right in here. Right about there. And let's hit the plus key to smooth that out. There we go. I'm going to select this edge, Alt and middle mouse button, click that edge right there. Right click, split edges with split control. Move that up to sharpen it out. I'm going to select that same edge right there. Alt and middle mouse button, click that edge. Selecting basically the same ring. Right click and split that with split control. And bring it downward to make that real sharp down there. There we go. If we do a quick little render region, we'll see that's really sharp down there. Okay, good. Let's look at our image. See, this area here needs some fine tuning and some tweaking. So let's go ahead and let's do that. I'm going to select this edge, Alt and middle mouse button, click that edge right there. Should select the entire ring. Right click and go to split edges with split control and move this split down like this. Right down there to make that nice and sharp. But I want it to be sharper. So select the same ring again, same ring of edges. Split with split control. Bring it down real close. Now we have three edges really close to each other. And that sharpens it up real nice, as you can see. Alright, so let's look at our image again. See what other details we need to make. I'm going to go ahead and take this, Alt and middle mouse button, click this edge there. I'm going to get that ring of edges, right click, split edges with split control. Move that down to about here. There we go. Select this ring of edges. We're going to split that with split control as well. Move that back to about here. That's pretty good. Make that nice and sharp. Excellent. Now let's look at our image again. We see we need to sharpen that area up, and then we have to do this cog wheel design right there, which isn't going to be too hard to do. So let's select this edge, Alt middle mouse button, click that edge, right click, go to split edges with split control, move that split back like this, select this edge, Alt middle mouse button, click that edge. That'll select the entire ring, right click, split with split control. And we're going to move this split down like this to make that nice and sharp. So again, we have 3 sets of edges really close to each other, which of course gives us a nice sharp edge. So let's render region that area, and that's what we got. Now what we have to do is create that cog wheel sort of design right there. See that? So let's go ahead and let's do that. Let's go to polygon mode. Select this polygon, Alt and middle mouse button, click that polygon there to select this entire ring or loop of polygons. Right click and let's go to extrude along axis. Let's go over here to the extrude tab and let's turn merge off. And here's everything popping up. Let's change the length parameter to get something that's more suitable to what we need. So let's see how much this needs to stick up. Just a little bit, not a lot. Actually, that's pretty good. Now let's go over here to transform, change the scaling in the X axis to something thinner like this, more like the image. And that's actually pretty good. I think I nailed it pretty nice right there. Okay. The length parameter I'm going to pull up to about right there is pretty good. And that looks pretty good. Okay, now it's just a matter of, well, pretty much detailing this stuff. So let's go ahead and detail this. Close that PPG, we don't need it anymore. I'm going to go ahead and select this edge, Alt and middle mouse button, click that edge there, select the entire ring. I'm going to right click and I'm going to do is subdivide edges evenly to split it right down the middle. So that I can select this edge, Alt and middle mouse button, click this edge down here, select the entire loop. Now I can right click, go to bevel components, and I can change that distance up. So let's change the distance. Probably going to need to go to something like 8. Nope. Let's try 10. Nope. I'm going to do this differently instead of messing around with that slider. I'm going to go to polygon raycasting mode. Select this polygon. Alt and middle mouse button, click that polygon. That'll select all the polygons. And I can use the scale tool to do that same thing that I was just trying to do. So I'll scale it so that these edges are really close to each other right there. Like that. That's pretty good. Now it's looking pretty good, but I still need to detail this a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select this edge, Alt and middle mouse button, click that edge there to select that entire ring of edges. Right click and go to split edges, split control. And with that done, I'm going to move this split to about, let's try something like 95 like we did earlier with the other part. And that looks pretty good actually. I like that. I'm going to do a quick render region of that. Yeah, I really like the way that looks. Let's look at the image. Probably should be a little bit sharper, however. So what I'm probably going to do is try something like 97. Okay, let me try 99. And 99 is going to be a lot sharper. Very nice. I like 99 a lot better. So we're going to stick with 99 on this one. Edit that goddamn car honking out of the video. These fucking cocksucking sons of bitches. Start again in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I'm liking the way that looks. That looks nice and sharp. I like that. I'm going to keep it like that. So we're going to use a value of 99. So I'm going to select this edge. Alt middle mouse button, click one of those to select the entire ring. Right click. Go to split edges with split control. Go for a value of 99. And we're going to do that the same for the rest of these. So start getting all those rings. Hit the period key to repeat the last command. And go with 99. Oh, that's 99. So let's keep selecting all these rings. And it's just a matter of repeating this over and over. So I'm going to do this for every one of these, and I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead in the video now so you don't have to watch me doing this over and over again, because there really is no point to watching me do this over and over again. So I'm going to skip ahead in the video, and when I come back, we'll be finished with this. Okay, so I'm back. I went ahead and detailed every single one of those, which actually didn't take too long. Literally took only like a minute and a half to 2 minutes at most to do. So let's do a quick run the region here, and we see what we got, and that looks pretty nice. Okay, not bad at all. Okay, so now we got that eyepiece done. Let's have a look here and see what else we need to do. We need to do a few details and touch-ups and things. We also have to create this switch that's on the other side. So I'm going to end this video here, and in the next video we'll pick up and continue working on these on this model.